Hi guys, today we are going to talk about building a house from scratch, analyzing its structure and the steps to connect. If you are in charge of a project its type, you must take into account the following three factors: structural design, control of construction processes, and control of materials quality. It is important to consider these three factors because for a home to successfully which the devastating effect of an working is must have a soil strong and resistant structure. An earthquake will cause damage to a home if its last structural design or if this was poorly structured. The home may even collapse causing significant material loss, serious injuries to its occupants, and even the death of some of them.
The structure of the house is responsible for supporting in the weight and the effects of the earthquake. It's made up on following elements. Let's now take a close look at each of them. Foundation. Due to the presence of the law abrading walls, the tile foundation uses a generally continuous footing. This is concrete with inclusive concrete, cement, concrete water, and stone. It is medium and large stretch. Here are some minimum required and used and B. It's important to note that is measuring on the continuous footing basically depends of two factors: the tile and soil and the total weight to be supported.
There are different types of soil and each one has its own characteristics: clay, sandy, weight to bear, degree of humidity, amount of salts, sulfates, etc. It is important to note the characteristic of the terrain in order to define the measurements of the strip foundation. This soil factor is considered the designer when carry out the structural design of the masonry house you are going to build. Although each project includes foundation plans that indicate, among other things, that the pit of excavation, the measurements of the foundation, and the amount of reinforcement required. For reference and guidance purpose, we can consider the following. The foundation should not be built on soil formed by fill or waste deposits, but rather on natural terrain. We also have the following reference information.
Total weight to be supported. This is the second factor on which the final and the precise measurement of the strip foundation depend on the total weight to be supported. It is not the same for a foundation, some support more than other depending on the number of floors and also on the location of the foundation. This is also take into account with the design engineer when carrying out the structural design of the house. Well, at this point, we refer to the blueberry walls, which constitute to the second structural elements to be studied. It is important to note that a blueberry wall is not the same as this partition wall. Blueberry wall provides the necessary strength and solidity to a house that is they make it more recent. The image shows on the foundation of the steel walls to support and the trippers will allow to each of the floors a house has a bit thin building whichever floor is separate. We repaint the crooked slab roof, which are support along the entry lane. Be a floor slab. In the case of the two-story house, the transfers away from the living to another accusation floor.
Wall density. It is very important to control the number of load-bearing walls that a house should have in each direction and on each floor to be built. You can do this by following the steps. Step 1. Calculate the roofed area of each floor in square meters. Step 2. Calculate the horizontal area of confined walls required. Step 3. Calculate the total horizontal area of load-bearing wall you plan to build. Step 4. Compare the result of Step 2 with that of Step 3. The following must be met.
Construction process. As previously mentioned, the quality construction process influences on the strict weekend structure in the house. Our hard-type building. Below, we will see some examples and their respective recommendation. Techniques of the joints. Standard A017. Then use the following. In masonry, we units with mortar, and horizontal and vertical. Joints wall the completely filled with mortar. The thickness of mortar with small lid 0.39 inch, and the maximum thickness shall be 0.59 inch. The reason we with standard limits the thickness of the joint is very simple. The thickness joint is that 0.59 inch. In cause we will weaken significantly. A particle while in the void the usage and pressure while laying a brick. It is also important to use the joint in some less than 0.39 inch size. The mortar that the joint in the no less than 0.39 inch size mortar wall gonna adhere well the brick, meaning the joint wall the big. Excessive joint greatness. Standard A Quebs 017 in this part of the National Building Regulation. The standard provides important recommendation rating masonry construction. When observing Figure 22, you can see that the joints are not completely filled with mortar. The thickness, the load bearing wall, and therefore the structure procuring weak areas susceptible to cracking.
Connection between load-bearing wall and column. For all structural elements, beams, columns, roofs, walls, foundations, to work together as if they were one piece. It is very important that the connection between them is good. For example, the connection between the load-bearing wall and its confinement columns must be consist. On site, this good connection is achieved with two procedures. Wall tooth interlocking. Anchorage roots. Walls to interlocking. As you know, the wall interlock revises both the weight of the wall and the concrete poured into the column, achieving optimal union between both elements. The standard E strips 070 refers to this topic and states: the length of the wall tooth must not exceed 1.97 inch and must be clean of mortal waste and loose particles before pouring the concrete of the confinement column. If the tooth is more than 1.97 inch, it is likely to break due to the weight of the concrete that impacts it during pouring. And if the tooth does not break because of the impact, the concrete will not completely fill the space between the teeth and will form honeycombs. Electrical installations, tubes for electrical, telephones, etc. Installation will be located within the walls only when they have a diameter equal to or less than 2.70 inch. If not, the tubes will be placed in cavities left during the construction of the load bearing walls that are later filled with concrete. If that is not possible, then they shall be placed in the alveoli hollow space of the bricks. The router of the pips must always be vertical, and under no circumstance shall the wall be hacked or cut to place them. Do not hack a load-bearing wall, it weakens. Sanitary installation. Sometimes pips are installed after the load-bearing wall have been boiled. To do this, workers break the masonry, install the pip, and then patch the damage with mortar. This is an incorrect construction procedure that weakens the structure. For this reason, the technical standard does not approve it. The standard is Reps 070 states: pips for sanitary installations and pips less than 2.17 inch must run outside load-bearing walls, in false columns or in special ducts, or also in non-bearing walls partitions. The wall used to pass pips with diameters greater than 2.17 inch will no longer be a load-bearing wall. Walls that are in the direction in which there are more load-bearing walls should be chosen. To properly divide the wall and ensure it remains load-bearing, confined columns must be placed at each end. To build the false column, follow this procedure. Wrap the pips before with wire. Place the pip before you start laying the brick. Lay the brick leaving an interlocked on both sides of the pips. Place an anchoring rod in each rows as you lay the brick, alternating sides. Prepare and pour the concrete with a slightly more fluid consistency that is usual for columns. Compact carefully. To give the wall a final quality finish and prevent cracking, we recommend using plaster mesh following this procedure. Prepare the mesh to accurate size so that it covers the false column along its entering height. Its width must exceed the interlock be 7.87 inch. Fix the mesh with nails, one to the wall to be plastered. Prepare the mortar mixture in the proportion 1 part cement to 5 parts filled sand. Plaster the wall, ensuring that the thickness is between 0.39 and 0.59 inch.
Columns, normally for two-story housing with an adequate quantity of long, very brick wall steel columns. We had 380 or bars and 0.23 inch corroded iron instead of 3/8 in quantities that must be calculated and specified in the plan. These columns must have strips spaced 9.44 inch apart maximums, and they must have a spacing of the 3.93 inch maximums at the areas near and roof and foundation stairs. Spheres, ceros, ripas, 0.23 inch and 3/8 inch. Mini cover 1.57 inch. Strip distribution and 2 strips for accessory, 1 strip and 1.96 inch. 5 strips on over 3.93 inch and rest and 1 strip on over 9.184 inch. The following the last are recommended strip accessories keep 0.23 inch or 3/18 iron. Should plan for painting at the damage. Let's now see 4 important aspects related to the column. Connect between the column and the load brick wall. Given the load acting on a conventional housing are hit, it is important that the brick wall and the T-column are strongly united, so that both can support the effect of the feed forces. This strong and soil union in achieved means of the wall granted. It has not been possible to grab the wall. You will have the reservoir in the unit below.
Will you hold the line when every one of them is giving up and giving in? Tell me, in this house of mine, nothing ever comes without a consequence of cost. Tell me, will the stars align? Will heaven step in? Will it save us from our sin? Will it? Cause this house of mine stands strong.
Hi guys, today we are going to talk about the
Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, cause you're a natural. I beat it hard as stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life cutthroat. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Will somebody let me see the line within the dark trees shadowing what's happening? Looking through the glass, find the wrong within the past, knowing we are the youth. Caught until it bleeds out of world without the peace, face a bit of the truth, the truth. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, cause you're a natural. I beat it high.
Dije stop, dije stop.
So cold, yeah, you're a natural. Deep
Standard
inside me,
8
I'm
webs,
fading to
0.
black, I'm fading. Took an oath by the blood in my hand, won't break it. I can taste it. The end is upon us, I swear. Gonna make it.